You know it. What's going on, y'all? Another episode of Incorrectly Correct. Um, we know the times, right? Being that it's Christmas Eve, we're gonna try to be festive here. Um, and not in the way you may think, right? We like to do things different here, incorrectly correct, so to speak. And I want to touch on some things that you know are pretty kind of deep, right? Not what everybody would expect a Christmas episode to be about. You know what I mean? And you know how we go, man. We just get right into it. And I want to speak on some things, right? Because for everyone, Christmas is has a different feeling to it. Christmas has a um, like a different vibe. Like some people, they look at this season or this holiday as like magical. You know what I mean? Some people look at it in a more serious tone than, family, food, presents, you know what I mean? And we like to touch on everything, right? Like if you can think back right now, listening to my voice, what was the most fun, memorable Christmas that you guys has have ever experienced? Or maybe there's someone who have some memorable Christmases that wasn't so joyous. And I don't want to be a negative Nathan. You know, I do want to speak on the good parts of Christmas, but we got to be honest here. I've been on this earth 42 years, man, and nowadays that I'm older and I hear the word Christmas, I don't light up as much, and it doesn't have much to do with, well, I'm not a child anymore. Um, with the type of person that I am, man, I love to see people in great spirits. Nothing makes me happy. I'm gonna be honest. When I see people smiling, hugging, I love that, man. Like it ignites um a picker upper in my spirit. You know what I mean? And but then I got to be honest about me, right? I got to be honest about my life, and whenever I see the word Christmas, I hear Christmas, there's not a lot of joy behind it. You know what I mean? And I don't know, maybe it could be a range of things, but I know there's like a few things that plays a heavy role into why, and I'm gonna get to those whys about me, um, later in this episode. But I want to go over some things that I found when it relates to Christmas, right? When it comes to the Christmas spirit or the holiday. And there always going to be a duality with everything. There's always going to be positive, and there's always going to be, I'm not going to say negative, but really a reality or deep rooted for this episode. We're not going to say negative. We're just going to say more serious, right? More reality based. And then you have your joy. Your joyous Christmas. That's how we're going to categorize. We got your joyous Christmas, and we have your reality based Christmas. And I just want to talk about those things because those are the real one and two when it comes to this holiday. So let's go here with it. Let's go with reality first. I want to end it on a good one. You know what I mean? So let's go reality first. And one of these realities when it comes to Christmas is called the remembering Christmas, right? With the remembering Christmas, um, the reality is that the past is louder than the present. Like basically, like you, what you remembered about Christmas has quieted, has been more loud than the Christmas now. You know, Christmas has gotten a little quieter over the years, and this is a Christmas shaped by memory of people who are gone, right? Traditions that no longer exist, or a life that has changed irreversibly. Okay? Look at that. Memory of people who are gone. If you have loved ones that are no longer here and maybe they were the bright light of the holiday, or maybe your family had traditions and then life got in the way of that and they don't exist anymore, right? Or maybe individually your lives has changed, to a point where it's hard to go back to what Christmas meant for you earlier in your life, right? The season acts as an amplifier. You know what I mean? Like songs, smells, you know, things that you guys used to do. It reopened what time usually kept quiet, right? Joy is often mixed with grief. Whew. Let me tell you something, man. There'll be times where you have I'm speaking for me too. There are times where you will have a wonderful thought on this day, and then right behind it, I'm literally right behind that joyous thought. Here comes some grief. You know what I mean? And it's because of, could be because of that one person that has that bright light is no longer around, right? Traditions no longer exist. So nostalgia, it carries weight instead of comfort because you remembering those things, and or you would like to participate in those traditions that you're used to, but you just don't. And this is speaking for family, right? Be it your own family, your wife, your husband, your children, or your siblings, your cousins. You know what I'm saying? The matriarch, the patriarch of the family, everybody gathering around. Like celebration feels like an act of endurance. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I'll just get through it. I'm not particularly in a joyous form right now, but I'll make it through, right? And this is the remembering Christmas, right? Like this reality isn't about sadness alone. It's about fidelity to what mattered. And for many, Christmas becomes an annual act of remembrance, right? Oh man, it's Christmas. Man, I remember when this, and I know it's not here anymore. But let's push through. Even though that's more of a reality, that's not what we are always shown, or the narrative of Christmas is always pushed opposite of this reality. right? It's supposed to be a time of sharing and caring, fellowship, you know what I'm saying? Community, all of these things. But, there's a reality we live in here, man, that I ain't gonna say we gotta, but we can't ignore. We just can't. Especially when you become an adult, right? And it is hard. You got work you got to deal with. You know what I mean? Um, you you got your children just you scrambling for so they can have a great Christmas. You know what I mean? You making sure everyone around you or like to be around you, you know, see this persona that you got to put on. And in reality, another Christmas that exists is the surviving Christmas, right? The reality of that one is getting through the day. Christmas is the achievement, right? Like in this reality, Christmas is not symbolic, it's logistical, right? People are working, right? Caregiving to someone else, managing illness, financial strain, right? Emotional exhaustion. Like in surviving Christmas, these are the realities, man. Right? The language of magic, it it feels it feels distant or offensive, right? Ain't no magic in Christmas, man. Get out of here with that. It's hard. Yeah, I got through the day, but this day was hard. I had to make sure that all the finances is okay, right? I got to make sure that the person that I'm taking care of is okay. I got to work. How many of us is how many of us have that? I'm not gonna lie. I would love to be around my siblings this year. A lot of us have to work. And if we ain't working on that day, we're working on the very next day. So we really can't enjoy Christmas because it's back to the grind the very next day. Right? Stability matters more than tradition. Quiet is preferred over festivity. And I just want to relax. I just want to sit on my couch or lay in my bed. I don't want a lot of noise. I'm not in a festive mood. Relief comes when expectations are lowered. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. I hope you heard that, man. Relief comes when expectations are lowered. This Christmas, the surviving Christmas, right, is defined by resilience rather than meaning. And that resilience is often gone unseen. People don't even notice it. It sometimes get to a point where you don't even notice that you're being resilient, surviving Christmas. This is this has become a reality for so many people out there when it comes to Christmas. And to be honest, man, a lot of us would love to have that light in our eyes or that excitement in our hearts and in our souls when it comes to Christmas. You know what I mean? But we just got so much to deal with. And especially in this economy, you know, it's not that easy. You know what I mean? It's not that easy. Like how many people you want to get gifts for and you just can't. You just can't. It don't matter how much you supposed to have saved up all year. It's just hard. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfair. Very, very, very unfair. But that's a reality, right? And then also we have the reckoning Christmas, right? The reckoning. The season exposes unresolved truths. That's the reality of the reckoning Christmas. I want y'all to ponder on that one, right? Okay, let's go. Like, so Christmas can confront people with family fractures, moral discomfort, or questions about who they have become. That's the reckoning, man. If you have a family fracture, then on Christmas it comes up, it gets exposed, right? Moral discomfort, or you question about who who these people you're around have become. Man, Shirley show ain't the same. It, oh my goodness, man. Moral discomfort. I gotta fake it for these people. I don't want to be. I know they my people and all that, but I'd rather be home. I'd rather be away from everybody. The reality of life have caused reckoning in Christmas, right? Like life has its way of just getting in the way, right? The enforced togetherness, right? Or the absence of it. It makes avoidance impossible. We got to sit here and fake the funk. I haven't talked to this person all year. And if we did, it's just maybe holiday hellos or birthday hellos. You know what I mean? Or could be a tragic moment in the family. So y'all just speak briefly. But now, you know, you probably forced to be around that person. And now it's impossible to avoid, right? I'm busy or I got a life to live or I got children to raise or my job won't let me. But then now here we are, right? And now that avoidance is impossible. So what do? It becomes very uncomfortable. It becomes awkward, right? Old conflicts resurface. Silence becomes heavy with implication. Change feels necessary but costly. Man, change feels necessary but costly. Man, this reality, as you know from listening, as you can see, is uncomfortable. but it's not empty. For some, Christmas becomes the moment when clarity finally arrives all year. That's a reality, man, when it comes to Christmas all year. You know what I mean? You get to avoid these certain people. They get a little bit of you throughout the year, right? But then finally, everybody gathers around and you're next to that person or you're in the same vicinity under the same roof of that person. You can't avoid them. It's impossible, right? And then them old conflicts resurface. But you're quiet, so the silence is heavy. That tension thing, like everybody else, they see it. And it's hard for them to continue with their day. Maybe not everybody, but for a lot. Because they see it. And now it's hard to just for them to enjoy themselves because they see the discomfort between you and this other person. Right? Like I said, I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm being honest. These are the things we endure on Christmas, man. Right? These realities of Christmas, the remembering Christmas, the surviving Christmas, the reckoning Christmas. Right? These realities, they're not exclusive. And sometimes we have all three within the same day. That same year, we experience all three of these realities when it comes to Christmas. You know? And so with that, it, Christmas don't create these conditions, these realities, right? Christmas reveals them. So if we want to talk, you know, I don't want. Okay, if we want to talk yin and yang of Christmas, right? Joy versus reality. These are the realities. We can't ignore them. They're there. I know a lot of people, like this year. I'm gonna speak for me. This year, is more of a for me is more of a surviving Christmas, right? Just surviving, man. Right? The whole family can't get together. We can't all be a unit one day out of the year. Bills are here. Stuff got to get paid. You know what I mean? Car service, your job. What are the real? What? Which of these realities are you that's listening dealing with for Christmas this year, or is it all three? Just let me know. Jump in, speak on it, as Ice Cube will say. And you know what? While we here, man, if you can think of a time where Christmas wasn't quite it for you. I can remember one, and I was young. I was real young. I remember this Christmas. Um, if for me to give you a year, I can't do it because I don't remember the year. I just remember I was a child. I was real young, and this was the first time, being conscious that I realized how much I would rather be around my immediate family and not have as much of a good time than to be away from my family where I can have a good time. Right? I remember this, man, because yeah, your boy shed some tears, right? And this was not a knock to the people that was around. I got to make that be clear. It was not a knock to them, right? My cousin Gary, he invited me to come go with him to go to his wife and his stepson. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kenny. Shout out to Gary, my cousin Gary and cousin Pam. They lived in Elizabethtown, North Carolina. I remember this, and he asked me if I wanted to go with him out there for Christmas. And I'm like, bet, heck yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, because it was a different world over there. Every time I went to Elizabethtown, man, I really enjoyed myself. You know what I mean? Because my cousin Kenny had all the fly stuff. You know what I mean? Like he had all the fly stuff. They had cable. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had the video games, and then, you know what I'm saying, his cousins would come over, so we'd be outside playing ball or joking around. Like every time I was in Elizabethtown, it was popping, man. I had a good time. Good time. Every time. You know what I'm saying? And then this particular Christmas, I'm home, and when he was like, "Do you want to go?" I'm like, "Yes, let's go." Heck yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to knock my family either, or where I was staying, but for me, Elizabethtown was so much more fun than being at home. Just saying, I'm gonna be honest. So I was hyped. Let's go. We going. And we go. You know what I mean? I see Kenny. What up, man? We having a good time, man. We see his cousins. We at his cousin's house. Everybody is there, you know what I'm saying? And there's some fun people, man. Um, I don't remember his cousin's dad name, and I'm mad that I forgot. But this was a cool cat, man, and he can sing. So man, we having a good time, man. And then I'm sitting in the front yard, and then I'm watching them, right? Because we all familiar with each other, but the reality is, it wasn't my family. You know what I mean? Cousin Gary, yes, but this is his family that he's married to. So they're not my immediate family. And I'm in the yard, man. I'm in the front yard, and I'm sitting down on this chair, and I'm watching it. I'm watching them. I'm watching how they're exchanging presents, and the hugs and the kisses and everything. And I immediately got sad. Like I got sad, man. Like I really, like my spirit, man, got to moving, and it wasn't a good move, and just the tears just started falling. I started crying because I'm like, damn it, I want that. I want that. Like I don't know why I thought coming out here on Christmas was gonna be the move. I don't know why I thought that was gonna be the lick. Oh, it's gonna be popping, boy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We about to be playing ball. I know they about to get a new game or something. We gonna play something. And I forgot that there's a certain part of Christmas where, the fun, I ain't gonna say it comes to a stop, but it gets serious because now, family about to be around family. Maybe the food's about to be ready. We all about to say grace, pray over the food, pray over everybody. You know what I mean? And just, enjoy each other's company, or maybe reminisce on stories, that only you and your family remember. And I remember looking at them and saying, dang, I'm not going to get that this Christmas. Like, what did I just do by saying I want to come out here? What did I just do? And yeah, man, I remember I cried. I remember my cousin coming up to me like, what's wrong with you, man? And I really couldn't articulate it. I just said, man, I want to go home with my family. You know what I mean? And, I never told him that, and I can't say I never told him because he was there, but it's like I never told him why. And you know what I mean? And I know he probably was like, hey man, you embarrassing me, bro. Like what you mean? These people gotta hear you say that as if like they never accept you as family, because they did. But that was the first time I was like, man, I would rather be where I felt it would be less fun. I would rather be around the less fun, but I will be with my family than to be somewhere else having fun. You know what I mean? And be with somebody. Man, I remember that. That was one that was. I think that was, I don't know. I don't know because there's a lot of Christmases I don't remember, which is sad. But I remember that one, and it wasn't a good Christmas for me. And it was only because I realized, hey man, I'd rather be with my family, and it don't be as fun than to be around a lot of fun, and it's not my family. You know what I mean? And that was when reality hit. I wouldn't know which reality that would be for me. I guess it would be probably like um a remembering Christmas. I think it might fall under the category of remembering Christmas. You know what I'm saying? The past is louder than the present. Yeah. That was a remembering Christmas for me because I remember wanting to be around my family and just enjoying them than to be around. These were good people, so I'm not down to nothing. It's just dang, I remember that feeling. That was the first time I felt that. I remember that one. And yeah, that wasn't one of my best Christmases, man. So now let's get to some fun stuff, man. We're gonna get to the positive, right? Or the joy part of Christmas. And we're gonna get into, like what for you as you listening, I want you to dive into a time where you know you, you had the most joy for Christmas. Dive into that, man. I'm gonna give you one of mine when at the end of this. And so, the belonging Christmas, right? Joy rooted in being known and received, right? This is the belonging Christmas. This is where joy is rooted in these, right? No more reality. This is the joy part. And with this Christmas is where joy comes from abundance, right? Okay, not from abundance, not from abundance, but from fit, right? You're in a place, physical or emotional, where you don't have to explain yourself, right? You are expected. Your presence is not a performance, right? The room, I mean, be it that it's crowded or quiet, but it makes space for who you actually are. right? Okay, where are we gonna have Christmas this year? Okay, it's gonna be here. And wherever that here is, right? You're there and it's like it fits. You're supposed to be there, right? Everybody expected you. You your presence is not a performance. You're there. And it don't matter if the room is crowded or not. It don't matter if it's loud or quiet. But in that room there is space for you to be there, right? In this one, joy is relational rather than dramatic. Hmm? It is relational rather than dramatic. Ooh, camaraderie. No, not conflict. It appears in shared rhythm, right? Familiar voices, unforced laughter. You ain't putting on no act, okay? Mutual understanding, right? There's no urgency to impress, right? You're in a safe space. You ain't got to put on airs. You with your people. You with where you're loved, man. You're where you're accepted. You're where it's exciting that you're there. Huh? How many of y'all walked into the gathering place for Christmas and there? Oh, so and so is here with hey Gio here, y'all. Right? Say your name, whoever you are listening to this. You walk in, everybody is hyped to see you. It was waiting for you to walk through the door. Man, boy, whew. Traditions functions as anchors and not obligations. Right? We were speaking on traditions back then, right? When it came to the reality of Christmas. You know what I'm saying? It's not an act, right? They're anchors and not obligations. Y'all can't wait to, you know what I'm saying, push out y'all traditions that year. Y'all can't wait. All right, this year, man, y'all know what's about to go down. Y'all know what's ready. Y'all know what's about to happen. Right? That's the anchor. That's what makes y'all want to show up every year. Is these traditions. I mean, I can't wait. This we did something last year within the family, and it wasn't Christmas. It was Thanksgiving, and it was so much fun, so much fun to where I'm like, this should be a tradition. This should happen every year. And as the family get older and the new generations come in, we just pass that tradition on. You know what I mean? It just feels too good. Everybody participate. Everybody is excited about it. Everybody is cheering on one another. Right? The space feels amazing. I love it. That's part of the Christmas song. That's that joy that I'm about. Right? This kind of Christmas is joyful because it offers rest, belonging, even briefly. It quiets the nervous system. You're at peace, man. There's a calmness to it. It allows the body to exhale. you hear the exhale audibly, but you feel it physically. Just ah, this feels good. And for many, this joy feels almost fragile, not because it's weak, but because it's rare. We better not mess this up. This is fragile. This doesn't happen a lot. Let's hold tight to this, right? At, where we at out here? Are y'all listening? Are y'all there? Have you experienced this type of Christmas, right? Where the joy is rooted in being known and received, the belonging Christmas. I know y'all have, man. I know y'all have. And I know how y'all feel right now thinking on it. Just thinking on it, y'all feeling good. Then you have, with joy, the sufficiency Christmas. All right? And this joy is rooted in enough. It's rooted in enough. This Christmas is not extravagant, right? It may appear as modest from the outside, but it is marked by a settled sense that nothing essential is missing. It's enough, right? Outside looking in is like, all right, I see it. It's cool. They excited for this. Yes, because nothing essential is missing. There's zero fat on that steak. It's enough, right? Food is simple, but it's shared. Gifts are small, but it's symbolic. The schedule is light. Comparison loses its power. Comparison loses its power. Insufficiency Christmas, right? The joy is rooted in enough. There's no room for comparison. Comparison is shoveled away, is buried. There's no power in comparison because it don't exist. You see somebody with something fly, not even a inch of jealousy or envious overcomes you, man. You just like, oh, you know how we do. Oh, boy, look at you. That's you. Somebody showing up in a new car for Christmas. Oh man, look at the car. You excited for that person. Whew. Think about the food, man. Right? It's simple stuff. It's simple. It ain't nothing extravagant. But you happy to share it. Hey man, taste this. Yeah, I know you got it, but it tastes better when I put a little. Try it out. Right? The gifts aren't out of the wazoo. Something crazy. It's symbolic though. This this picture frame of a lost one. I only got a picture. It's symbolic, man. And you're not mad. Right? Joy here comes from sufficiency, the realization that desire has softened, that striving has paused. Oh man, striving has paused, right? So the fact that, man, I gotta work tomorrow though. I'm here, but I gotta work tomorrow. You're not even thinking about that. Yeah, we all striving. That's the life we living in. But in this efficiency Christmas, this joy, that thought of striving and working hard, it pause, hit pause on that. We ain't even thinking about it right now, right? Desire has softened. We just spoke on it. With about comparison losing its power. Desire is softened. Man, I wanted that car. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to get it. That has softened because joy is rooted in enough. We got enough here. We got us. We got each other. Is gratitude there, but not the performative kind. Just a quiet recognition that life in that moment is adequate. Let me tell you something, man. I want this. I want this Christmas every year. Give me sufficiency Christmas every single year from now on. I gotta add that. This I'm gonna say that part again, man. Gratitude is present, but it's not the performative kind. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you shouldn't have. Hey man, get out of here without that performing. We don't need that insufficiency. In the sufficiency Christmas that's rooted in enough, the joy that's rooted in enough, we don't need to put on an act. We ain't got to perform our thank yous. We really mean that because the gifts are symbolic. It comes from a real place. It comes from the heart for real. It's just quiet recognition that life for that moment of this part of Christmas, the sufficiency Christmas, is adequate. Oh man. This joy is especially potent for those who have known scarcity, chaos, or excess. Excess, not access, excess, right? It's potent for those that know what scarcity is, that know what chaos is, that know what excess is. Okay? It is the joy of balance restored. Enough in a culture of more is a profound form of celebration, right? Think about that because when it comes to Christmas, everybody thinking abundance. How much can I get? How much gifts and presents can I get? How much um, of memories we can accumulate, right? How much? It tends to be like a greed type of culture. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when we think about Christmas. But in sufficiency, enough is a profound form of celebration. I'm telling you, man, I want the sufficiency Christmas every year. I really do. That's what I'm talking about. That, oh my goodness. Because I'm a simple person. I'm a minimalist. I don't like a lot of things. I don't like to do a lot of things, right? But I do get filled with so much joy by seeing the small stuff. And especially when the small stuff works, when the small stuff is enough. So give me the sufficiency Christmas. Man, I want that one, man. And then we have the renewing Christmas, right? Joy is rooted in hope that is credible. I want you to think about that one, how compound that is. Hope being credible, right? When you think about hope, man, it's like a wish, right? I don't even like the word hope. I don't. I'll be like, man, just properly plan, and you ain't got to worry about hope. But here in renewing Christmas, joy is rooted in that hope is credible, meaning what you may wish for, what you would like, is there. Is there. This is the Christmas where joy arrives, not because everything is resolved, but because something has shifted, right? A burden is lightened, a relationship has softened, a future that once felt closed, sorry, has opened slightly. The change may be small, but it is real. Oh man, the renewing Christmas. And basically, I don't like saying basically. What it's saying here is like there's a shift, there's something new happening with this Christmas, right? A burden is lightened, a relationship softened, right? Everything is resolved because joy has arrived, because something has shifted, right? The change is small, but it's real, right? Joy here is forward facing, all right? It's something to look for. It's a change, a shift, something new. I love it. It does not deny pain or difficulty, it exists alongside them. What makes it joyful is the sense that movement is possible, that movement is possible, that life is not stalled forever. I mean, how many of y'all are in stagnant Christmases every year? The same old, same old. Well, we doing this again. We going to grandma's house again. Okay. I wanted this toy, but I'm getting socks again. Right. I wanted this Supreme outfit. Look, don't come at me, y'all. When it comes to fashion, I'm not a fashion person. So I don't know what's the popping clothing lines out there. All right, just I remember Supreme being a big thing. So don't come at me. Oh man, but the same old thing, right? You wanted this. Okay, how about Balenciaga? Is that one? You wanted this Balenciaga shirt, but you get a beanie. You know what I'm saying? In the South, the toboggans. You want that, but you know that it's coming every Christmas. It becomes stale, right? But with renewing Christmas, moving forward, it's forward facing. There's a shift, right? A more open future, right? A small change, right? This kind of Christmas often surprises people. It arrives after a hard year, not an easy one. So it feels earned. Ooh. How many people are willing to strive for a renewing Christmas, right? Let's try to switch things up. Maybe let's not do the same old, right? Let's put a remix to this. All right, let's put some new sounds to this song, some different lyrics. Yeah. And with renewal, right? It doesn't shout, it just whispers. Continue. Man. But look, man, joy at Christmas is not a single experience. It's plural, uneven, and often quiet, right? Those are the joy parts of Christmas. And I gotta give a story. All right, I gave y'all uh, a little sad story, right? Uh, More of a I guess what I called it a remembering Christmas, the reality of it. But let's get to a joyous Christmas memory I had, and this was definitely I would consider this one that I'm about to speak of a renewing Christmas, because this one, I'm adult at this point, and our the way we set this Christmas up, and it only happened once. We didn't continue this like we should have, but it was one of my most memorable ones. I had a good time on this Christmas, and once again, I don't remember the year, but I just remember I was living in Vegas, and it's like that year was fun, man. It was a good year, and Christmas was really good. You know what I mean? Because what we did was, everybody in the household got up, we made breakfast, and everyone really got something they really enjoyed. Right? I think my nieces came over, and that year everybody got a bite from me. I was just shoving out bites, man. Like, you get a bite. I felt like Oprah. You get a bite. You get a bite. You get a bite. Everybody had a bite that I got them for Christmas. You know what I mean? And at the time, a good friend of mine. Like I think I got his son and daughter a bike. I think so. I think I got everybody a bike that year. What was different about it is was um watching how excited they was, and then their parents got them stuff too. So it was different. It was like they was able to come and spend Christmas with their uncle, and then they can move on and just go spend Christmas with their parents, right? So it was a sense of not so much as pride, but a sense of a exhale, right? Like just it was enough. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough because now you got most of the day people they on their bikes, they riding through the parking lot, right? And then they go in the house and they got the other things that they could play with. And I just remember that overwhelming joy, right? Like the parents of these children was very grateful that, I was able to come through and do something for them, you know. And and also this backed by the fact that, I like to label myself as one of the best uncles out there. At least I try hard. And for them to be excited that Uncle Gio got them something, it just lit up my life. It wasn't about me. You know what I mean? That Christmas had nothing to do with me, right? And I really enjoyed that. It had everything to do with everyone else. Wonderful day. That was a wonderful, wonderful. I can remember that one very, very well. And yeah, I would definitely label that as under sufficiency Christmas. And look, man, in the comments, y'all throw out something for Christmas, man. Throw out a little this and that, man. A story, if you will. Make it short, make it long. I don't care. I read all of them, and I don't care if it's two. Just give me a Christmas you remember that played into what reality is, and a Christmas memory that played into what the joy, right, of Christmas. And look, man, I'm a do something here. It has to do with Christmas, and I just want to give out everybody do top 5 things, but I'm gonna just do 3. And if y'all feel compelled enough, or if y'all want, drop in the comments 3 of your favorite Christmas songs, right? And why was why it's symbolic to you? You know what I'm saying? Why is it your top 3? Right? Is there a memory behind it, or is there a well? It got to be a memory. So is there a memory attached to the song? You know what I mean? So um, number 3, I gotta go with TLC. Oh man, I don't want to get the name wrong. Very Merry Christmas. I think that's the name of it, right? By TLC. Dang, no, it's called Sleigh Ride. Okay, forgive me, TLC. Sleigh Ride by TLC, and I'm gonna tell you why. This song is symbolic, man, because I mean, for one, it's TLC. Like we all love them, but I remember we got cable for the first time at my grandma's house, and VHS that you were able to record. We actually like recorded a gang of songs for Christmas, like via video. right? So you had your Let It Snow by Boys the Men and everything, and then we had Sleigh Ride, and I remember how much fun that song was. And when I think about that song, it puts me right back into my grandmother's living room, and me and my sisters like dancing and having a good time to that song. Number two would be obviously um Silent Night by the Temptations. I mean, come on, what we doing here? You know what I mean? What are we like? Who's not putting that in their top five or top three? Or maybe it's their number one go to song. I mean, we joke about it every year, how it ain't really Christmas until we hear doom, doom, doom in my mind. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that song is symbolic. And also I remember a time I think the male choir back in the town I grew up in St. Paul's. Um Dang, I forgot his name, man. But he had a voice like Blue. Um Mr. Ray. I don't remember his first name, but Mr. Ray, rest in peace, Mr. Ray, man. He used to he used to sing Blue, and it was hard for anybody to do Blue. And I just remember like his grandson Jeffrey, me and him went to school together, and I used to, man, your granddad sing that song. Like he sounded just like Blue. And somebody with a deep voice like that, man, you get to see it. You know what I'm saying? I remember watching them perform that, and that sticks to me to this day. And then number one is "Give Love on Christmas Day" by the Temptations. Yeah, once again, Temptations in the rotation, man. That song, and it was performed by a lot of people, but their rendition for real is symbolic because I remember one time, I think me and my mom we flew to North Carolina for Christmas one year. I don't remember what year that was. And the whole time on the plane, we sit next to each other. We kept switching the we kept switching the CD player with one another. Like, here you go. We listened to that song like on repeat. It was crazy. I don't even know why. I mean, for one, it's a great song, but it was just like we just kept switching the CD player, the portable one with the headphones. Here you go, you got it. And then she listened to it, and then she passed it to me. I'm listening to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a great memory that I remember. And that song, it hits home. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace, mama. Man, I miss that song. I miss playing that song with you. And yeah, man. We're gonna get to that segment. It's here. All right, stain on my white tee. And man, we're gonna try to keep it. We're gonna try to keep it Christmas themed. All right, we just gonna try to keep it there. The whole episode's been about Christmas, and we got serious here. We didn't really just be all bubbly. You know what I mean? But here at Incorrectly Correct, man, we like to throw out things that everybody just don't. You know what I mean? And it allows people to have different perspectives. So, I just want to stick with it. So this week, this season, this year, right? Let's just say it like that. This year, um, for Christmas, stain on my white tee is white tube socks. Listen, man, I don't care for getting gifts for Christmas. That don't matter to me. I like to see other people excited, happy, getting things. But if ever you feel in your heart you want to give me anything, please don't let it be no white tube socks. Okay, just keep them at the store, Or if you trying to give hand me downs or something that you don't want, give them the Goodwill or something, man. Just don't give me no damn white tube socks, man. All right, I might I might burn them right in front of you. You can call me ungrateful on Christmas Day. I don't care. All right, just don't. I got a past when it comes to white tube socks. All right, so many times where I will see my siblings get a card with little $5 here, $10 here. You know what I'm saying? But I get tube socks. All right, I ain't. Look, man, I'm being jokeful, but I'm very serious. Like, just if you gonna give me anything, you know, and if you get it to me after hearing this, I'm gonna throw them at you. Okay, just don't give me no white tube socks, man. Just keep them away from me. All right, I don't want them. I'm not gonna use them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go on about your business, man. When it comes to white tube socks, I'm gonna burn them. I'm telling you, I'm gonna take them. And be like, oh man, I appreciate it. I'm gonna go right in the backyard. I'm gonna just let the fire get to them, and I'm gonna record it too and send it to you. Hey man, look man, it was another episode. This is our Christmas edition here at Incorrectly Correct, man. I just want to let y'all know we love y'all. We thank y'all, and like I always say, it don't matter if it's only two of y'all listening. Thank you for listening, and I wish I really do. I really, really do. I want everyone who's listening to my voice to have a very successful, very positive, very progressive, very productive, a very thankful, humble Christmas this year. I really want that for you guys. I really, really, really do. Nothing makes me happier to know that somebody is happy. Okay? I just can't get enough of seeing joy on people's faces or just seeing people that's engulfed in joy. Nothing makes me happier, man. So if granted that maybe your Christmas don't go the way you want it, change somebody else's. All right? Flip that energy and change somebody's day by being amazing to them. All right? Because everybody deserves love in some form or some capacity. Everybody just do. All right. So once again, thank y'all and love y'all. And we out.